Take it away.
All right then, hello. I am Punchy. I was on the couch for the Resident Evil 7 run like an hour ago or whatever. Couch.
Hi, I am Techie.
I'm Plywood.
And I'm Maxi Lobes.
Great. Let us begin video games. Count of three. Why not? 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so the intro, our goal here is to die immediately, as soon as possible, preferably. And this will be done after a bunch of cutscenes where we get, then kids will then try and kill us in an alleyway. Silent Hill stuff. But the only optimization at the start, or at least, and my only contribution to this game's route in about 3-something years of running it, is that one of these cutscenes in the intro, if you hit it on, outside the curb rather than inside of it, the way the AI takes control of Harry for a cutscene will move you further into an alleyway than if you hit it closer to it. It's counterintuitive. So I'll just do it, and then you'll see the tiny optimization. Hit it from the outside. You think you want to be close. You don't. You want to be further away. So he runs into the alleyway like so. That saves 1 or 2 seconds. That's the only thing I've found in 3 years of running this game. I'm a great speedrunner.
Well done.
Thank you. I'm very proud of that strategy. That's why I point it out every run I do.
Intro optimizations are really important.
Yeah,
in
this
game.
is your big chance. You got a crowd. Now they know. The Punchy.
Inventor of the fast intro strat by 1 second. Okay, so movement in Silent Hill, I will explain movement because it is not like any of the other games you just watched. Resident Evil 3, right, I'll use that as a point of comparison because everyone just saw it. When you move when you press the key. When you stop pressing the key, you stop moving. Silent Hill 1 does not work like that. You do not have instant deceleration. You have to give yourself braking distance. Harry turns like a car. It's a momentum-based tank control game. There's a reason they didn't make them like this after this one, because it's weird. Okay, here we want to die, so I'll try and strafe into a kid, and hopefully he grabs me, which he's not going to do because my RNG sucks. Oh, I got grabbed on the bounce. That's all right. That's all right.
Oh, you turn around.
That's fine. That's decent
Not
RNG.
too bad.
That's decent RNG. But what the kids do is important as well, but also your health is sort of random-ish during that section. I don't get it at all. Sometimes you die before I can even really think about it. I'm taking this health drink because it's really hard to avoid. You don't need the health drinks to progress the game at this point, but that one's basically on top of the map and it makes the run safer, so I don't care. Quick turning, that's another aspect of Silent Hill movement. Quick turns are done by hitting both the strafe buttons at the same time. Malai. But they're specific. If you try and do it while running, you have a 2 to 3 frame window to execute it. Whereas if you hold down a button to walk instead, it expands the frame window dramatically, so it's a lot easier to execute. Otherwise, the trick is actually bafflingly difficult to do, to just turn around. 5-shot. Enemy health in this game is also random. Everything is random. You'll be hearing that a lot. Get used to it. You need this radio. So that enemy in particular, right? Some enemies have random health. That's one of them. That enemy rolls within a range. It can take either 4 shots, it can take 5 shots, or it can take 6 shots. That was a 5-shot. Pretty standard. Mashing really fast there coming out of that skips a little mini cutscene where Harry pulls up a map to see where he has to go. And you can kind of just bypass that whole animation completely if you mash really, really fast. So that's what my 2-fingered mashing thing is. I use custom control bindings for this game because this game, confusingly for a PS1 game, has completely custom control options. So I have 2 buttons bound to cutscene skip because I must skip extremely hardcore.
Yeah, I think you can bind 4 or 5 buttons to a single action. It's ridiculous. It's
Remove
so good.
all your buttons if you want.
Yeah.
Rebind everything. So the goal here at the moment is we need to collect 3 keys to open a back door in someone's house. Ordinarily, you'd have to go to the house to get a map that shows you where all the keys are, but the keys are physically in the game world. It's not like Resident Evil 7, for instance, for that point of comparison, where in order to get things to happen, you must do things in the scripted order in which the designers wanted you to do so. If you know where things are, you can just go and get them. So I'm going to do that. One's at the end of this long stretch of road, and there'll be an air screamer here, and air screamers are a crucial part of the outdoor sections of this run, because once again, their behavior, and really every enemy's behavior, is random. They can do whatever they like, they can chase you, they can follow you. That guy just had no interest in me whatsoever, so, cool, I didn't like you anyway. I don't want to be friends. But they can all just do things. It makes the game very unpredictable, which, given how the runs have been going in the horror block so far, feels like sealing my own fate. But so far, things are going well. There's another air screamer there who also just didn't pay any attention to me whatsoever. That's fine. Whatever. I do not care about that. This guy can block you. I try to take this tightly. He gets stuck on the tree. It's not so funny when it happens to you, is it, mate? Miss. He didn't hit me. Goody. So that's good luck to start with, and now I'm going to hold up on the controller for about a minute or so, so if you have donations to read, shoot.
We sure do. Let's see, we have a $10 donation from Honorable TB. It says, Punchy, we're rooting for you. Love the Something Awful GDQ chat thread, and your pal, Johnny 5 Aces.
He'll hate me as soon as the marathon's over, don't worry about it.
Also have another $20 donation from Honorable TB. Oh, nope, that's the same one.
Deja vu.
We make mistakes too. Actually, a $50 donation from Dr. Doss that says, you got this, Punchy.
Thank you. One more.
Let's see, we have a $111.11 donation from Jester of Fire. It says, this stream is #1, this game is #1 in the series, this runner is #1, this chat is #1, we are #1.
I see. Okay, so you need to get those notes. That's one of the really only instances of like trigger hunting in this. You need to get that note that tells you that there's a key in the doghouse. Otherwise, if you try and get the key in the doghouse, it will just give you the infamous, looks like a doghouse, but there's no dog around line, despite there being 2 dogs circling it. Okay, so now I'm going to try and hit this door on the corner. Turn, corner, yes, exactly.
Nice.
If you hit
Very
that
nice.
straight on, Harry will attempt to like smooch the door, and by that I mean he'll like ram his head into it. He bonks the door. Doors and door bonking are an important aspect of Silent Hill speedrunning, and I'm now going to bore everyone to death by explaining how doors work for about 10 minutes.
Woo!
So I hope you're all ready for this. Every door in this game is a special, unique kind of door because they all work completely differently, and the only way you learn is by constant repetition. But basically, trying to run straight at a door doesn't work the same way every time. So if it looks like I'm like walking kind of drunk as I'm approaching a door, like curving or whatever, I'm trying to not slam my face into a door, because every time you slam into a door, Harry will bounce off it and he won't be able to open it for a certain period of time. That adds up quite a lot over the course of a run, like 20 to 30 seconds or so. It's non-trivial. You go through a lot of doors in this game. And also, I'm turning my light off here in the dark, so like, do not adjust your set. I can't see the game either. In order to not draw enemy aggro, because enemies in this game also all work differently. Some draw aggro based on sound, like your footsteps will attract them, which is why you can walk, although I never walk because this is a speedrun. Like, what do you want from me? But some of them are also sensitive to the light, and those I can avoid drawing aggro from by just turning the light off, but the side effect of that is obviously that you can't see anything. So I have the map memorized pretty much. But I also don't even pick up the map. In fact, I don't even have the map button bound on my controller. If I get lost, I'm screwed. Won't happen. Doesn't matter.
By the way, that entrance to the school is like a faceplant, right?
Yes.
But you did get the...
Yeah.
There's like a few frames where you can actually activate the door in the middle of...
Twist. Turn.
There's a couple of
little
doors.
face
There's a
plant.
couple of doors like that.
Yeah.
I move in a specific way there to manipulate that enemy so that he turns a bit left so I can then juke around him like so. That's consistent provided you do the movement correctly. And you can manipulate enemy movements like that in a lot of places in this run. And the school is like one of the harder areas of the game really because it requires a lot of movement manipulation like that. But it's also like not especially random, which later portions of the game the movement can get kind of dependent on how enemies feel like playing ball. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. It'll be fantastic, I'm sure.
And just a side note, if any of you are wondering how these load times are so quick, it is being played on PSTV.
PSTV has lightning fast loads it owns.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
I turn my light off here because then that guy wanders in the wrong direction, giving me a clear path to the door. And you have to do it in this order. It seems like, why is he running back to use the medallions after every single one he picks up? Wouldn't it be faster to just get them all in one go? Yes, that's why you can't do that. It doesn't work like that. Don't get ideas. It's not that smart.
By the way, despite this being the first major area, these enemies cover a lot of, like, side reach, especially
Yeah.
for the narrow hallways.
Their
so
grab reach
it's-
is quite strong, so it goes kind of far. This guy can spawn on either side of the hallway kind of round. Okay, right side spawn is fine. I'm through.
Yeah, in general, you want these kids to try to go for the stab because the reach is just so smaller
Yeah,
compared to the crab.
the command grab.
Silent Hill optimization numero 50 million. Using the analog stick on puzzles is slightly faster than the D-pad. I don't know why. It just is.
Almost too fast.
Almost too fast to control, really. My RNG sucks. Help. Okay, no, I'm fine. I got blocked, but he wasn't paying it. He had like his back to me. Like everything's ignoring me. Like screw you too, man. I'm here. Pay attention to me. I'm on the stage. Okay, so this is a specific manipulation. Light on, one step, turn off, run corner, ignores me completely. Good. Strong luck. I have to do that twice though, and that can go pear-shaped. That's mostly consistent. but not 100%.
It generally works. and-
Generally works,
Generally.
which is never something you want to hear. If you were getting surgery that generally worked, you probably wouldn't have it.
It's very important that you turn off your flashlight before going certain doors through certain doors as well.
Yeah. There's no, like, rule to it, really. It's specific situations. It's trying out. I have a sound cue for this, so, like... boom, that one.
Flashlight gimmicks are really important in this game. Like, it was a huge design choice when they made this game back in '99.
One step off, run forward, corner.
Nice.
Easy peasy. No hit first half of score, which is actually really hard.
Really
so-
good. Really good.
Hey.
It is surprisingly difficult to get through this school without getting hit.
Again, the movement, as I've said, is also quite a lot harder than it looks because Harry walks with momentum. Every time I need to stop, I need to give him distance to stop, like driving a car, like braking distance. In order to turn, I need to give myself time to bank the turn.
Understanding how the movement mechanics work in this game is so vital to get really good times. There's like no way, because once you know the route, it all comes down to how well you can control Harry. And if you can't control Harry well, you bonk into the walls. That's a second loss every time you do it.
Light out, and I leave this one to luck because, ha. That guy doesn't hit me. Does this guy get out of the way fast? Decent. Whatever. I'll take it. Let me use this on the door. So I'm about to pick up the shotgun, and that brings the subject of ammo routing into question. We don't really get a lot of it, so I don't have a lot of shots to waste. So the shotgun comes with 6 bullets preloaded. Every gun comes with 6 bullets preloaded. And the number of shotgun boxes we pick up in the entire run is 2. The reason for this is that I am doing this run on the easy difficulty setting, and before Kotaku commenters get angry at me about that, it doesn't really change a whole lot about the run as it stands. In fact, several bosses are actually completely identical between difficulties, amount of health, and how much damage you take, blah, 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 blah. The amount of damage you take does change, but I don't get hit anyway. I'm too good for that sort of thing.
It's also still really possible to die on easy, even
is.
in a speed run. Like,
I won't, but it is
it won't
possible.
happen for Punchy because Punchy's actually very good at this game.
I
But
didn't
if you're
open the door.
starting out in this game, you're trying to route out just like 2 health drinks. Good luck, because it's very easy, especially later on in the sewers, to die.
When I first started, this float stinger was a problem.
Oh my god.
We'll get to him later.
So yeah, when you're playing on easy, ammo boxes have double value. So like this would normally have 6 in it, instead it has 12, so that means I have to spend less time wandering around trying to pick up ammo boxes, which is groovy. So I have a total of 30 shotgun shells through the entire run, and that's it. Which doesn't really afford one a lot of leeway to miss shots. I can miss like a few, and that's it. There's a bit of accounting for variance of like bosses having certain health values or whatever, so like it's forgiving enough. But if I start whiffing shots left and right, I'm in trouble. So I'm not going to do that. So we're collecting keys at the moment so I can hit the other side of the school. I will turn right, but not turn right too far in order to draw that guy's aggro to get past. That's a specific kind of like tap, and then run again. And again, you can't stop on a dime, so if you like screw the movement up, you're kind of forced to just watch yourself blunder blindly into danger.
Yeah, Harry can like stumble forward if you stop on the wrong frame, and
Yeah.
that tends to be a bad thing, especially when you're
Tends
dealing
to
with
be,
kids.
but
Tends to be.
that's a stumble cancel, except it wasn't a stumble cancel, but I was trying to stumble cancel.
That's such
That
a
was the
hard
idea.
trick. That's such a hard trick to pull off, the stumble right there to get to the trigger there for the whole.
We equip the shotgun while we're in the menu because opening the menu takes time, a revelation. So while we're in the menu, we're just going to equip the shotgun because we need it like 5 minutes from now or something.
It's the only time you have to equip a weapon.
This cutscene is unskippable. Why? Read a donation,
Look
please.
how pretty it is.
Donation?
Cinematics, man.
$25 donation from Nif. It said Silent Hill was the first survival horror game, so naturally I had to stay up until 2 a.m. to see it destroyed. Best of luck on the run, and hello, Night Owls in the crowd. Donation to Runner's Choice.
Sweet. Superman 64, any percent. Donate for that run. It's amazing. I'm not even kidding. You think it's bad? It's so much worse. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, video games. What am I doing again? Right, key. Key in the courtyard, that's what I was doing. I know what I'm doing, don't worry about it. So we get this key. That turning was awkward. No one knows unless I say it. Why do I say it?
Don't worry, I know.
Quiet. Quiet you. Okay, so now I have both keys, and I can proceed to the end of, like, the dungeon, I guess. Dungeon feels like weirdly Zelda terminology. But
I always call them dungeons.
I know, they break into very dungeon-like sections,
Yeah.
so we just call them dungeons, but, like, that feels very, like, Zelda-ish terminology.
You just call it levels. Level
Yeah.
1, school.
Levels?
Level 2, hospital.
Stage 1.
This is honestly like one of the harder sections as well, and it's going quite well. I try and hit that door like as close to the left edge as possible to avoid the possibility of a bonk. Because again, I'm a very boring person who has considered the possibilities of all sorts of how to open doors. There's an exact science. Please read my book entitled How to Open Doors. Right, valve puzzle. You have to line yourself up straight with these valves, which I totally did not do whatsoever.
Really challenging room at top level because there's not a lot of room in this room, and you want to get on that valve as quickly as possible, line yourself up to get that perfect strafe to the next one.
Whee, I'm out here. Okay. Not too bad to readjust, though. That was fine.
No, not at all.
So we're coming up on a boss here, and this boss is interesting because it can instantly kill you if you screw the timing up. Won't happen. It's dead easy.
On any difficulty.
On any difficulty as well. But this one can totally just kill you if you mess the timing up. So the way this works is I will run forward, hope for good RNG. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he didn't hit me. Sweet.
Nice.
Thank you, buddy. He'll like flex his mouth for a bit, like, you know. Okay, come on. 1, 2, dead. That's a boss fight.
There we go.
When he opens his mouth, pop 2 shots and he dies immediately. If for some reason you whiff a shot or don't shoot him or like his mouth closes on top of you, gone, dead, bye. You lose. Try again. But the timing on that's like dead easy. I want this key. Keys in awkward shaped doors, such as Silent Hill.
You do not want to forget keys in this game, especially after areas. There is a key later on. You forget to pick it up, you will have to run all the way
Yeah, the
back.
game will totally let you leave without the key.
They'll let you run across town before you find the locked door that it opens.
Okay, so I did a minor optimization there that I'm now going to bore everyone with. When you approach a door straight on, in some instances, Harry has some common sense about not slamming his face into it. This is bad because it means he'll walk slowly towards it. I don't want him to walk slowly towards it. I want to run. Listen to me. So I have to turn awkwardly, like I have to approach the door at a side angle in order to get him to run towards the door and avoid his like common sense walking. I do not like common sense walking. This is no time for common sense. This is GDQ. You can't be held back by things like common sense at a GDQ. That's ridiculous. Doors must open. Every single like text box I'm doing, I'm like doing a 2-fingered mash as well with like triangle and X because I have both of them down to skip. Gets rid of text faster, draws it on the screen or whatever, but because text all draws instantaneously, no language version of the game is faster than the other. If you have a Japanese copy of this game, just like play ball. I've tried it. I set a record on JP and everyone was like, is JP faster? And I was like, no, I just got bored. I was playing on JP for fun.
I just got a JP copy myself.
I know, I saw it, I want it.
No.
Give. If I get world record, give it to me.
No.
What? Okay, oh, this guy's being. What do you want? Get out of here. Whiff.
He's still-
Again,
he's
you want
still
2?
on it.
Nah, he's gone. He's gone.
Oh, you're good, good.
I pawed him off. You don't want it.
He went above the buildings.
Does the second guy want a piece? Nah. Nope. He saw I pawed off his mate. He ain't having it. So those guys, whether or not I draw aggro on them at all, whether or not they chase me, how many times they attack me, random. That was actually pretty good luck, because the one guy took a shot, he whiffed it clean, and the other guy just didn't care. So that's pretty good. We will go into the church here. We will be told our arrival was foretold by gyromancy, which is complete gibberish. Gyromancy, like the divination of circles or something. So like, did she walk in a circle to tell us? Whatever. Video games. So this door, the only way to avoid not bonking it is to approach it at like a very specific... I didn't get it, which is annoying. I'm annoyed by that. You need to approach at a very specific angle. Some people just kind of run at it and leave it to luck. It's not luck. It's a very specific angle that works. You have to be like not dead on. You have to be like slightly tilted to the right. It works great for me because I am always tilted in some respect. That's
This
my
game
brand.
is tilting.
Yeah, see, Punchy used to sound more like our donation reader until he started playing this game.
And I'm very high strung all the time.
That's what this game does to you, dude.
It looks very chill. It is not.
No. Coming up on the like one of the hardest rooms in the game, by the way.
Yeah, this will not look it. This is one of the hardest pieces of movement in the entire game. Let's see how I do. Weave. Nailed it.
Dude, nice. Actually, nice.
Clap for that.
That doesn't
It
look
might
as
not have
hard as
looked
it
cool.
is.
It's
But it was-
insanely hard. Actually, really hard at high level.
Okay, so the reason that is so hard is because Silent Hill 1 has a bit of a frame rate issue. It's supposed to run at 30 FPS. It doesn't. It runs at like 20 at good moments, and in that room in particular, the frame rate can get as bad as single digits. As a result of this, inputs are delayed, sometimes they get dropped, and moving in that room is like swimming in a river of bricks. It's impossible. It sucks. You don't want to do it. So doing that movement around the railing to hit that console, because the console also juts out slightly far, so it's really easy to get stuck on the corner where you can't use the key, is actually really hard. It's very easy to lose 10 seconds plus in that room to totally gunking the movement. But I nailed it, so I'm quite happy with myself.
And something interesting to mention with the run and walk modes, you actually have a tighter walk turn radius with the walk mode.
Yeah.
Punchy used that while he was climbing up the stairs, and it's a really useful little mechanic with the movement in this game to get those tight turns.
The tight walking is an underrated, underutilized aspect of the movement in this game, even at like high levels of running this. Everyone seems to want to run everywhere. I get why. Everyone thinks it's faster, but no, sometimes you must turn. So now we're going to do some optional stuff here in this area. See, there's the tight walk. Because we are getting the bad plus ending, which you may notice is not the worst ending of the game. And you would logically think that worst ending would be the fastest, and you would be wrong because you thought logically. See, I told you, it doesn't work. You can't do that. Don't do it.
Not
So-
in Silent Hill.
We're going to pick up the red liquid. This is technically an optional item. However, it is instrumental in a glitch that we will be doing about, like, 10 to 20 minutes from now?
20. I'd say 20.
We'll say 20. So and it's a doozy, so, like, stay tuned for that one. There is actually a glitch into sequence break in this run, I promise. All survival horror runs aren't necessarily played completely straight. As soon as Harry starts flexing, go.
Well, there's actually a queue for that?
I have weird cues for this game. As
Oh
soon
my
as
gosh.
his legs start to go, that's when you go.
Because the generator doesn't actually line up all the time. You can't use the generator turning on as a queue. It doesn't always
Nope.
work that way.
It's
So
kind of weird.
Yeah.
So you have to examine every locked door on every floor because, well, apart from floor 1, but anyway. So we examine the doors on floor 2 and floor 3, and then 4th floor appears. Spooky. And that's how we progress. That's how we reach Nightmare Hospital. So the goal of Nightmare Hospital is to collect 4 colored tablets. They're keys. That's how this game works. They're keys. They don't look like keys, but they're keys. And then we use them in a corresponding puzzle that, again, it's keys. I just want keys. Here's one of them. It's just kind of in a bathroom. It's where I leave my keys all the time, so I don't know, that makes sense to me.
so unfazed by that spooky noise, by the way.
It happens
What a
every time. It's
professional.
scripted as far as you walk into the room. Okay, so RNG time. Way. More RNG, who would have thought it? This nurse can block you at the door. I totally got a buy on that. So, like, you can hit that door on, like, the furthest corner possible to, like, minimize the risk. She can also grab you on the way out, which she did.
Hey, nice.
Luck is good so far. But the hospital can swing runs pretty hard, whether based on whether or not you get things or do not get things, or if nurses feel like being complete douchebags. Or doctors, in fact.
Yeah, hospital has a lot of randomness to it and can be pretty challenging at high level compared to the school because the patterns of these doctors and nurses are not set the way they
Not
look.
at all.
And you get grabbed by their nurse when you get out of the room, you can just say 2 seconds goodbye, and that's huge.
Fortunately,
in this game.
grabs don't do any damage. There's 0 damage attacks. Strangely enough, they don't look it, but they are. No damage.
Actually,
Bye-bye.
do you know if getting hit by the knife is faster or not?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't want to get hit. So that
Right.
trigger, like, take 1 step into the room and you can immediately... You can't do it from a standstill. You have to take at least 1 step into that room to use that blood pack so I can get that green key-ish thing. It's a tablet. Whatever. Time for a puzzle. So Silent Hill 1, unlike its, later games in the series, the puzzles are all fixed. They all fixed solutions. Whereas, like, later games in the series have random puzzles that, like, even ups the ante even further with, like, some people just guess the solutions in speedruns, like you saw in Resident Evil 3, where people were just rapid fire inputting codes. This game doesn't have that. I'm very grateful for that, because I don't like that.
Yeah, with Silent Hill speedrunning, you kind of choose your flavor of RNG.
Right, yeah.
Time for nurse push. You have to push her out of the way, and if you get... she didn't die.
Nice. Nice.
I got it, but she didn't die.
You'll have to kill her on
Yeah.
the way back.
I will. That's going to cost me a bullet, I think. Are you dead? I was going to say, yeah, like,
Yeah,
I didn't... I got good RNG on the first, like, go-through, but I didn't actually kill her, so...
Premature celebration.
Good RNG, I botched the execution, whatever, I don't care. I didn't get hit. Spent a bullet extra, which spending the 1 bullet extra here actually could have serious knock-on implications for the rest of the
Yeah.
run, so stay tuned. Don't touch that dial, kids. Basement. Where I belong. Delayed reaction on that one, but I'll take it.
It's late, you know. You gotta give me some
Yes,
credit.
it is. I downed like 5 pints of Coke before this run, like cola.
Welcome to America.
You need a bucket or something, like a barrel.
Dude, everywhere I go to has free refills. It's not like that in the UK. It's amazing.
Right?
Been enjoying it so much.
So I saw you had a red velvet cake the other day.
I know. I went to IHOP and they just had a whole cake as a meal, and like I got halfway through it before I realized I'm just eating a whole cake as a meal. This is amazing. This country's fascinating. Okay, so the basement, like the more basement-y basement. You hollow out a new basement inside of the basement
Ultra spooky basement.
in order to get this key. So he can leave. The whole hospital has been leading up to trying to get that key. We go in the hospital to find a key to leave the hospital. Some story stuff happens in between. It's not like we just came here to leave.
And that key pickup is actually somewhat specific. If you just mash X out of the scene, you'll just look at the portrait. So you have to turn a little bit left before you mash.
Yeah.
I think the portrait and the key pickup zones overlap somewhat.
They do.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's the second box of bullets we're going to pick up, and that's like the last until we pick up rifle shells or whatever. So, okay, so final bit of RNG here. A thing I call the doc block. There is a doctor. He can stand in the way of a door. I would strongly prefer it if he didn't. He's in the way of the door.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk around him instead. Okay, I played that well. And that's the hospital. That went decently.
Not bad.
It was good.
Now here's that key that we do not want to forget.
Yeah.
They even point you away from the key, so if
Yeah,
you just run
yeah.
forward, then you'll just like, look, there's the door. Let's leave.
No, it doesn't work like that. Again, common sense.
Not a good idea.
Wrong.
The person leaves the key and is like, you need this, but doesn't give it to you. Just like, take it.
Leaves it on the table.
Oh, Dahlia.
Okay, so this section, I'm just gonna run to the antique shop on the other side of town. So if we got time for a couple of donations, shoot.
Wonderful, we have plenty of them. We have a $302 donation from Windslash. It says, "Hey Mew, remember when I kept moonwalking in the beginning of Silent Hill because I was afraid of the first alley? Good times, just like this run. Thanks again for all the work all of you are doing, and money goes to Runner's Choice." We also have a $150 donation from P-Sauce that says, "First time donating. I can't think of anything cool to say. I just love speedruns, and you guys are the best. Save the frames, kill the cancer. Is that right?"
I love speedruns too. This hobby is great.
And we also have a $10 donation from Echo that says, "Punchy speedrunning is commentary as well as the game. Amazing work."
I'm always like this. It's not even just commentary. I'm like this talking to me.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, but one more time. We have a $2,000 donation from Anonymous. And I'm going to give you credit for this one, Punchy. It says, "I've heard tales of how bad Superman 64 is. I must see why."
You really must. It is extraordinary. I was watching it in the practice room. It's unreal. Okay, so we skip this cutscene, and here's where I gain a bit of time by using the tighter turning arc of the walk. Underrated, underutilized. I think I'm the only one who does it, really. Light must go off here because there are monkey enemies outside. I call them monkeys. I think they're like officially called rompers or whatever.
Rompers, yeah.
Point is, they're incredibly sensitive to the light, and they will track you like across entire buildings if they even catch a glimpse of your light. And if they touch you, they'll knock you down. And getting knocked down wastes time, so I don't want that. Waste like 5 seconds getting
Yeah,
knocked.
that's a
It's
lot of
annoying.
time.
Worst
Yeah.
enemy in the game, by far. You get knocked down, that's 5 seconds every time.
Okay, so we have a boss coming up where I can get a one cycle on him, be doing a very specific manipulation of movements in order to get him to move a specific way across the grate, but it's also kind of timing based, so I will come 2 steps back, turn left, run a bit forward. Nah, I fucked up. No good. Excuse you? Wow, okay. I was kind of expecting that to kill him. How are you not dead?
What?
Damn, was that 7?
That was
Yeah,
7.
That was 7,
I think
yeah.
one of my shots hit iframes, which is, yeah, okay. So that was completely awful. Never mind that. You can get that in like 6 shots in 1 cycle, but I totally missed the time, the movement. That is whatever, that's like 18 seconds or something. I don't know. Who's keeping count? I'm not.
Let's not.
The game is.
The game.
Yep.
We know.
I don't care what the game thinks. I have a better opinion of mine. I blame the game. It's your fault. It wasn't, but I'm going to do it anyway. So another outdoor segment here, and again, we run in the dark as well, like for a while, because again, enemy aggro is important. So if you're wondering how I'm doing this without being able to see it, there's no trick. I kind of just know where I'm going. But since it's just kind of a dark running segment, we have time for another couple of donations, I think.
Wonderful. We have a $5 donation from Will, who says, "Hey Punchy, it's me. I'm blessing this run with sub 32 pace."
Not happening.
Good to know.
Out of the question since Twin Feeler.
$40 from Piculator that says, "I have never been more fascinated by the intricacies of doors."
I'm glad. Seriously, I worked hard on that. Everyone must understand the pain of doors in this game. But yeah, sub 32 pace is not a thing. The world record for this game, currently held by me by literally 1 second on second place, is 31:43. You need outstandingly good RNG, and you need to not really do a whole lot of things wrong to get a sub 32. So nope.
Two people have it. Two people.
Two people have done 31s, and only
And
one.
a test.
Only one of them's done it more than once, and that would be me. Okay, so Float Stinger. Float Stinger is an interesting boss because people very often ask me, why are you not just dumping all of your ammo into him straight away? Because it doesn't work. If it did work, I would do it. I don't know how dumb you think I am, but again, common sense. You're doing it wrong. I'm doing the strat where I'm just going to stand here and pump shots. This is conventionally known as a bad idea, but I don't care about things like that. You have to space your shots out like so. 1, 2, dead.
Nice.
I think it's a little more obvious when you're moving around because his iframes are when he's not moving.
Is it really?
So, yeah, if you're running around, after you shoot him, he'll stop moving. As soon as he starts moving again, then you can resume.
I always use the blood splurt from Float Stinger as the Q.
I don't know. I didn't know about any of those things. I just kind of stand my ground and do it off like a beat in my head.
And the only thing about standing still is that you might get
hit.
You get hit, so you're trading health for not having to strafe. But the strafe strat is not only kind of fun, but it's a little bit safer. But
The reason why I stand my ground there as well instead of doing the strafe is that I found that standing still and pacing your shots tends to work out faster by a couple of seconds. But on the other hand, it's now made this run quite risky because we have the sewers coming up, which is the RNG densest part of the run, which, how is that possible when everything so far has been random? It's quite possible, and you'll see how. There are 5 dodges that need to be performed, all of which are totally not down to me whether or not they work. I'm just going to hope. And if they don't work, they'll block me and they'll hit me. And if this happens too many times in a row, it is extremely possible that I will just flat die.
Yep. And the enemies that he's going to be encountering, it's really easy to get stuck on their hitboxes. I don't know why Harry just gets completely stuck on them.
They're lanky, but in like the wide way.
Right,
Fat, that's the word I want.
There's like an invisible box around them.
A box of kitting or something. He's moving. Out of the way.
nice.
that's good RNG when he moves like that.
1 out of 4.
There we go.
Show me 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4.
Two. That's great. That's great. We're not done yet.
not over yet.
We're not done.
We're not done yet.
They're kind of paced out over the
you're
sewers,
the
so we
ones
don't
for
get them
a
all
little
out of the way, but that's a good start. I save health, I save time, everyone's happy.
And
Or at least I'm happy.
Even on easy, when you get hit by those sewer monsters, it is brutal. Absolutely
it does damage,
brutal.
like a lot of it.
The other thing to note about those sewer monsters is you can potentially, if you have good reaction time, see how they're moving or hear how they're moving and move in the proper way, but it is very tight, and you have to be ready for it.
I just YOLO it.
Yeah, there's also that strat too.
I'm the world record holder, listen to my advice. Don't think, don't feel. Well, do feel, but just feel. Only feel, really.
No feelings.
No, go, run. Blocked. Oh, God, wow. No, I'm good.
We're good.
I turned a bit farther. It's okay. No double block. Okay, 4th guy. Excuse me.
That's reasonable.
3 out of 4 is okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty standard. 1 hit is fine. I can manage 1 hit.
Yeah, if you get hit by all 4 of them, you're probably gonna die. It's that bad.
Yeah, that's like half your health. And I trade half my health for 2 seconds on Float Stinger, which in retrospect is a really bad deal. I don't know, I just sort of did it.
I mean, if things get
Maybe
really
I shouldn't
dire,
have done that.
You can pick up the kit like in the antique shop later or
I
something.
won't. Picking up health items is
Okay.
slow.
I know.
Playing it,
Sometimes speedrunning's gotta come from the heart, man.
playing safe, no. What? Common sense, you're doing it again.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Unacceptable.
I'm being too common here. That's why I have a 32, not a 31.
The commoners commentating my run.
I know, right?
Unbelievable. Okay, so I'm like turning weirdly into those doors again to try and prevent bonking. So like it seems like, oh, why is he losing time by running into a wall? It's because I'm trying to prevent bonking. And it works out better this way, I promise. I'm not just being a weirdo.
Another little thing about doors that I don't think we mentioned is that you can buffer your turn during the load zone, which is another little thing to set up your lines in this game.
Oh yeah, like a fun quirk of this game's movement as well is that when you go through a door, any load screen, and start holding like up and a direction to try and turn, there's a random chance the game won't buffer that input correctly and your turn will go wide. I call this a wide turn because I'm horribly uncreative. But it's still a thing that can happen, and there are several places where if it does happen, it can like horribly botch your strats and like make you take damage and get you like it sucks. You don't want it ever, really. Tight turns are pretty much always better. There's no instance in where I would ever want a wide turn, but it's just a thing that happens sometimes. Movement RNG, outstanding. Silent Hill, new frontiers in a speed game. Will this fifth guy get out of the way? Kind of a bit.
That's
That
good.
worked. That worked. I got through. 4 out of 5 on the dodge RNG in the sewers
bad.
is perfectly good. Perfectly fine. Not perfect, but perfectly fine.
That's probably the worst place in the game to get a bonk, by the way. You'll
Yes.
just get surrounded and ouch.
So again, I have to do this in the dark because there is one romper enemy off to the right side of the resort here. This whole resort area is like a side quest thing that you can do to get the good ending. That's slow, so no, I'm not doing it.
We did that 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yep.
Thank you, Granite. Amazing. But yeah, we have time for another couple of donations. This is just running in the dark.
Perfect. We have a $100 donation from Ven Bright. It says, "Hey all, Ven Bright here. I had to save up some cash, so I donated all at once during Punchy's Silent Hill run. You're doing great out there on the main stage, my dude. Keep it up and knock that run out of the park. Money goes to your choice."
Again, Superman 64, always.
You're so into the Superman.
It's so good.
$50 from Agent Junior that says, "Have you seen a little girl?"
No, that's the goal.
And a $50 donation from Fat Home that says, "Good luck, Punchy. Find Cheryl. Sincerely, B Couch."
Thanks, B Couch.
Thank you, B.
We still got time for another couple.
A $150 donation from Drawing Bloodline that says, "Greetings from Germany. I was wondering why it's so foggy outside my window. And then I realized, oh, they're playing Silent Hill 1. It's still one of my favorites of this awesome horror franchise, and I was looking forward for this run. Go for it, Punchy. Help good old Harry find his Cheryl."
Harry is the best dad in video games. Like, low-key, he is the best video game dad. Journeys through hell to find his daughter because he just cares that much.
A bit
Best
gullible,
dad.
though.
Okay, so this is the Lighthouse run, and right away we have RNG that I don't understand how it even exists, but it does. Because there's a monkey enemy at the top of these stairs that could, for some reason, start off in a state where he's basically pre-aggroed and knock you down as soon as you get up there. He is, in fact,
Yep.
pre-aggroed. Okay. He kind of got stuck on the stairs. Yeah, whatever, it works. I'm through. Bye.
No more rompers.
But yeah, it's pitch black. I can't really see anything. I have to keep flashing my light on and off to see where I'm even going because just the movement's specific otherwise. That monkey was pre-aggroed as soon as I got up the stairs. I don't know how that's possible. That shouldn't be possible. That's BS. But nevertheless, it is a thing that happens sometimes. And I kind of got away with it, so I'm okay with it.
Also, the frame rate just goes crazy here.
It goes
This
to
is
complete
the
pop.
true roller coaster.
My frame rate is low, but my speed is high.
And now one of the really a great killer for people learning this game is the lighthouse climb and the descent.
Yep, so you'll bonk on the wall a lot here. My
downstairs.
strategy is just to hold walk every so often to readjust my angle. You wouldn't think that'd be faster, but again, you're doing the common sense thing again. So you have to readjust your angle every so often. You do a strafe here as soon as you reach the top to quickly get back on the stairs, because there's a cutscene in place, but we don't see it. So like a hot Silent Hill speed strat thing that's not immediately obvious. Strafing, like its speed, is slower than just straight running. So in a lot of situations, you would think it would be faster to strafe to a location. You are almost always wrong about this, because you're doing the common sense thing again. You have to turn.
And, later games in the Silent Hill series really clean up the strafe movement, but this game, no way. Harry sucks at strafing.
Yeah, you also can't transition from a strafe cleanly into a run. In later games, you can, so the movement is a lot more
Yeah, I think
freeform. Whereas again, in this game, Harry controls like a car. There's a reason they don't make them like this anymore, for better or worse.
If it was instantaneous, the routing in terms of movement with this
totally
game,
different.
super different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love this game to bits, and I think it's a very interesting survival horror speedrun because of its like momentum-based tank control. It's a momentum game, really, not unlike a platformer. But it's so weird. It's so hard to get used to. So we progress through the sewers here. There's one last instance of like a sewer guy potentially blocking me. It's super rare. But again, given the pedigree of the horror blocks that he's doing it, and he didn't quite do it. He thought about doing it and then kind of pulled out. So thank you. Didn't want that.
Double mumbler incoming? Question mark?
Yeah, okay, here's a completely useless fact. This enemy, he always spawns. In this tunnel, there can be a green guy who spawns. Sometimes not. He didn't spawn. I don't know why.
Fantastic.
Sometimes there's a dude in this tunnel. The tunnel guy
There
spawns.
he
Yeah,
is.
there he is.
He spawned, sometimes he doesn't. I don't know why. It never matters which combination you get because I just move around them. So it doesn't matter. But anyway, here's the glitch of the run. The glitch, because there's one. Normally, you skip a boss by like using the red liquid on them, but a random enemy in this area has the flag that allows you to skip them by, I have missed the trigger. Oh dear. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Please give this to me.
There we
Thank
go.
Nice.
I had a panic moment there. That happened to ESA. I don't want it to happen again. And skipping the boss by an unintended glitch like this makes this happen?
It replaces Sybil's model with the Shadow Baby. Or that's what I call him.
And Harry has
He's got a moment.
Sybil. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. What's going on? Sybil.
Harry doesn't know. Don't talk. I'll take care
I'm
of
not
you.
talking because I don't really have words for that. And then it just clears up as soon as that cutscene's done. That has no
Everything's back
lasting
to
effects
normal.
on the game whatsoever.
Everything's back to normal. It's all good.
I also didn't check my ammo during that menu, so I don't actually know how many I've got. If I have I need at least 2 for the final nurse kill in this area of the game. I didn't look, so I don't know. So I'm just going to assume I have the correct amount.
Well, I mean, if you have one, you could kick her down.
Oh, by the way, that glitch animation is different on different versions of the game.
Is it?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that was different.
I didn't know.
Huh.
I'm used to that one because this is just the version of the game I've ran on. Because like in like world record attempts, you don't normally see that glitched cutscene because I just skip it.
you're too
But
busy
like
mashing.
I'm not going to deprive the marathon of that. So now we're in Nowhere, which is a weird kind of hodgepodge of all the previous locations in the game laid out in a manner that doesn't really make spatial sense. So again, memorizing the layout of this is quite hard because it doesn't make physical sense. It's designed to not make physical sense.
Yeah, no map or anything.
And on top of that, you have a lot of tough hitboxes. And
I have two. I have exactly the right amount of ammo.
There we go.
I'm going to finish this run with exactly 0 shotgun shells. Perfect routing, and it's not totally because I whiffed a ton of shots. Exactly right. Wide turn. Boo! I wanted a tighter turn. That annoys me so much. Okay, so puzzle room here. The puzzle here is number of limbs. The zodiac signs are a red herring. It's literally that simple. Good movement. That's harder than it looks.
Nice.
I
Right,
missed
yeah,
that one.
the strafing is actually quite hard to pull off there.
So we get the Stone of Time. This run is blessed by the Stone of Time. So now we have to type alert into this keypad. And more than once, actually, I have killed a run by typing my name into it during a severe brain fart. Because my name starts with the first 2 letters of alert. So, like, I've just forgotten, and I've just typed my own name, and I've gone, why is this not working? And I'm like, oh, right, yeah, reset. This song is great. I'm sad we don't get to hear more of it. Okay.
And now it's over.
And now it's gone.
It's over.
Step forward, turn right, inventory.
By the way, this room's my favorite actual example of how the space of this area doesn't make sense. As you exit this door, there's a wall to your right, but as you're about to see, you're going to exit, and there's just more hallway. It's kind of bizarre.
All messed up. Time and space is meaningless in nowhere. It's just literally called nowhere. Okay, so I'm about to do the light puzzle. I always forget the solution to this. I don't know it consciously. I just kind of let muscle memory do it. Okay, no, I got this.
Yeah, you got it.
I always worry about this because, like, I don't know, it never sticks in my brain. Been running this game for 3 years and I still can't really remember that offhand. I have to do it to remember the solution.
You gotta press X every button, so it's kind of precise and it's really easy to choke, especially when you're on a good run.
That's where fast cursor movement with the analog stick really makes a difference. And again, this is what I needed the 2 shotgun shells for, because you're in the way. Go away.
Pop, pop.
And now I have 0 shotgun shells. Complete, perfect ammo routing. Sort of. That's the max number I need. It's a forgiving amount. I made mistakes and it still came out to be a flat 0.
And you need to pick up those rifle shells, by the way, or rifle
You
ammo.
don't actually, but...
What?
I found a new strat a few days ago.
Oh, well
New
then show
incubator
us.
No, it's incredibly risky and only say...
The face plant into the shield.
Yeah, the face plant into the shield. But the thing is, right, that can get you killed on the very last fight of the game, and I'm not sure if it saves any time.
Right, don't do that.
So I'm not going to do it.
Please don't.
It works. You can kill the boss with it.
I'm intrigued. I would love to see it later.
I just don't think it saves any time. So I'm not doing it.
I think it's also like the opposite of a swag strat because it just looks kind of dumb.
It does, yeah.
Doing, doing.
Much riskier and looks incredibly doofy. Yeah, another minor optimization I haven't really talked about and won't really get a chance to until the final boss, which will go by in the blink of an eye, is the quick reload in this game. When you ready your gun after, like when you aim it, it refills the ammo chamber, so during the final boss we will fire 6 shots, drop the gun, and then pull it back up again in order to reload it quickly. This is not a thing that is mentioned anywhere that the game does, but it does do it. Later games adopted this to only be available on easy difficulty settings. Silent Hill has it on all regardless, but I'm playing on easy because, yeah, this is a sound cue. Fixed.
And now for a dodge that is very hard to do.
Random!
Yep.
Turn left, wait a beat, walk forward. No. Doesn't work most of the time.
Yeah, it's got like I would say like a 15-20% chance of going.
It's low.
It's really low.
My health is still pretty good, actually. I'm in orange despite all the damage I took on Flexi. It's fine. You don't got to worry about things like that, man. I'm good at this. I don't get hit. Turn left, turn right.
Totally intentional having the light on there, by the way.
Yeah, that's to draw aggro in a specific way. Light has to go off for this. Okay, that worked.
There we go.
We're actually coming up on the end of the run here. So like we are nearly done. And pretty good. I feel pretty good about this run. So we just got to put 5 keys into the store. Yes, they are keys. This is Silent Hill. This is how the video game works. The keys of a different sort, like symbol, it's an ankh, it's a sword, but they're keys, man. And during this last menu, we'll swap to the rifle because it's the only gun I've got ammo for apart from the pistol. But who shoots final boss with a pistol? So the final boss is also a bit random because everything is. That's how this game works. You have to run a bit forward, and the running a bit forward helps you to aim more precisely because otherwise you can whiff shots. And it takes about 11 to 12 shots usually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop your aim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time.
11. Nice.
Was it a 47 RTA?
Yes, it was.
Of course it is.
Well done.
It felt like a 47. So Silent Hill runs are timed with the in-game timer because they do not count loads or cutscenes or anything of the sort. If this game were timed RTA, I would be the uncontested world record holder of every single category bar none, because I am the only person who runs this game on a PSTV, which saves like several minutes in raw load times because this game is more loading than gameplay sometimes. So it's timed with the in-game timer instead, which provides a fair comparison between all systems, regardless of how badly they load, which means if you have a copy of this game at home, or at least an American or Japanese one, because the PAL version sucks, you can compete in this game fairly with everyone. It's a brilliant in-game timer. I don't know why a survival horror game of all things has such a good and robust for competitive speedrunning in-game timer, but Konami and Team Silent were really on the ball with that across the series for some reason.
Oh, absolutely.
It's baffling. It's one of the best in-game timers I've ever had the pleasure of working with. It saved me so much hassle and arguments on moderated leaderboards for this game. It just works, man. It's ahead of its time.
Developers take note.
Seriously, copy this game. I'm
Seriously.
not even kidding.
Yeah, seriously.
Has the best in-game timer I've ever used in my life.
It's like 20 years old.
Does it better than some modern games today. They don't make them like this anymore, for better or worse. How's my in-game time? 32, I think. I'm very good at this.
26, nice.
Silent Hill, everyone. Thank you for watching. Shout out to the Silent Hill community. If you need, we're all very willing and to give a hand with people trying to learn this game. I made it like a 2-hour-long tutorial at one point that will teach you the ins and outs of how to open doors quickly. So if you ever want to learn even more information than what I just imparted about door opening, watch that. And then you too can learn how to jog through foggy streets at a moderately fast pace. Thanks for watching.